Hello everyone, and welcome to another vlog. I want to start this vlog off by saying I understand that it has been a really rough weekend for a lot of people with the news about Kobe Bryant. If that is something that has affected you immensely, I am very sorry. I have never personally been a big fan of basketball, but I understand that he was a big inspiration to a lot of people, and his loss is going to be very, very deeply grieved by millions of people out there. Keeping that in mind, I've decided that today's video is going to be very nice and calm and chill. I figured since it's still January and since some of you are still getting acquainted with me if you're new to the channel, why not have a discussion about some New Year's resolutions? But instead of just listing off my New Year's resolutions, we are going to be doing so while playing with a variety of different slimes and silly putties, while also listening to some royalty-free spa music in the background. So let's just get right into it, shall we? So one of my first resolutions for this year obviously was to get a job. Considering that I just graduated and I'm going to have to start paying all of my bills and everything on my own, I knew it was important for me to be able to take care of that on my own and not have to rely on my parents to give me money for things and to keep paying my rent. And they've been really nice, and they've said that they will keep supporting me for 6 months post-graduation as far as my apartment goes. And then after that, they'll still send me $200 to $300 a month because it's going to take me about a year to get on my feet. So, but the main point of all of that was to get a job, and luckily I have been able to do that. And while I could go ahead and mark that off of my New Year's resolutions, I don't want to jump the bullet. Because you never know what's going to happen. You never know what's going to come up. So yes, I do have a job, but I also want to be able to keep my job all year and get another one if the seasonal one doesn't work out or if my time ends and stuff like that. Another resolution that I have that kind of follows along the same lines is to get a new apartment. This lease, since it is school housing, ends in July. So I'm going to have to move out, and I really need to move up somewhere that's going to be closer to Universal and Disney. That way I can spend less on gas and I can be closer to my job and not have to worry about how, having to drive 40 minutes to get there and then figuring out how ahead of my scheduled time I have to be to get there. Words, Putty is really distracting. I just want to be close so I'm not having to spend too much time commuting and then possibly getting there too early or too late for work, since my job involves a lot of traveling to get to my different area of work. So a new apartment is just something that absolutely has to happen. Also, kind of along those lines is the fact that I need to start saving money. I mean, I'm out of college now. I am getting stood up on my own 2 feet, and I need to start putting money back for emergencies, for traveling, because I don't want to just work the rest of my life. I want to be able to enjoy stuff too. So another goal of mine is to try and save at least $1,000 over the course of the year. I feel like that's rather reasonable. It might be a little difficult at times, especially if I'm only working seasonal and can't really get as many hours as I want to, but I'm really going to try and achieve that goal because I need to be better about money, and I think forcing myself to put back a little each paycheck is really going to be good for me in the long run. I also need to get on my own phone plan this year. That is something that I am hoping to achieve. just because it's time. I'm 27 years old, and I need to get on my own film plan, and I need to stop relying on my parents for all of my stuff. So, I feel like it's not that unreasonable to have that as a goal. The next two kind of come hand in hand. I say this every year, and then every year I get to about February and I quit. But I really want to start eating healthier this year, and I want to lose weight. And because I'm tired of being overweight, and I know that's not like a defining factor in a person or anything like that, but I know myself, and I know that I'm unhappy being overweight. So I really want to be able to get past that, to be able to make healthier eating choices and to just overall become a healthier person and get down to a body weight that I'm happy with, not necessarily one that's like suggested, like a suggested health weight, or how people will be like, oh, well, you need to weigh a certain amount if you're a certain height. No, I just want to be happy and healthy and comfortable in my own body. That's all I want. Something else I really want to do this year is get back into voice lessons. My entire high school career, I was in choir since 5th grade. So I'm gonna be real honest. I had a pretty decent singing voice. I'd get the highest marks on my solos at like state competitions and stuff like that. And I enjoyed singing, and I really had fun with it. And my first year of college in Oregon, I still sang. And then once I hit the Disney college program, and then life kind of spiraled from there, I kind of stopped singing. And then my second year in community college, I got back into singing and was in choir, and that was great. But I graduated in 2015, and it's 2020, and I haven't had any lessons, any choir experience, anything like that. And I can feel it in my voice. I'm nowhere near as confident with my voice as I used to be. And as someone who's still dreaming about Broadway and theater and whatnot, I really need to work on my skills, and I really need to be better about my voice, and I need to know how to treat my voice well and stuff like that. So I really would like to get back into voice lessons. That way I can really own my skills again. Kind of along the same thing with the theater is I want to audition more, and I've been saying this for 2 or 3 years, and I never do it. And I really want to. I keep seeing so many of my friends having auditions and succeeding and booking jobs and everything, and it's kind of making me feel a little left out, because I'm just like, I love theater, but I'm terrified of auditioning, and I don't want to be like that anymore. I want to be in shows. I want my friends to be able to come and support me like I'm able to come and support them, and I want to put my degree to use, so I didn't waste thousands of dollars for nothing. But so yeah, I just want to stop being so shy and going to auditions, even if I will most likely fail at them, and just get more experience, because that's what it is with theater. You just have to keep auditioning, even if you're scared and even if you know you're not going to do good. So I really got to push through that fear and just start going for it. Okay, this one is very basic of me, but I'm the worst at drinking water. I don't like it. And I don't drink much of it. I can go for like days without drinking water. So my goal this year is to drink more water. Right now I am I have a water bottle that holds like 32 ounces, and I'm drinking one of those a day. And right now, that is like enough for me. That's enough. Especially if I decide that I'm going to be stupid and chug it. The repercussions from that are a lot. So, but it's a start. 32 ounces a day is a nice start for someone who has previously gone days, maybe even weeks, without drinking actual, like, glasses of water. So, you know, we're trying. Baby steps. 32 ounce baby steps. Another thing that I have to do this year, since they only give you a little bit of time between graduating and having to start, is paying off student loans. And I've racked them up because I have student loans from my year of college in Oregon, as well as my 2.5 years here at UCF. And I'm not gonna lie, it's a lot. It's almost $50,000, and that's with the two loans from my first year of college being about 40% paid off. And right now I am on deferment because I just got a job and I have to, get settled and figure out how I'm going to be able to budget. So I have until June for like 20 of them, and then until July for the other two, to figure out how I'm gonna make payments on them. And the sad thing about student loans here in America is, like, even if you pay the minimum that they want, which for me is like $36, and that's per loan, I think, if I'm understanding correctly, I'll be paying off these loans until 2029. And that's scary because that's not even a real year. But yeah, it's just, I'm gonna have to find balance. I'm gonna have to find a lot of balance between all of the bills that I have to pay. And that kind of leads into my next goal, which is to pay off 2 bills that I have. And I have a few bills. I have my student loans, which aren't going to be paid off this year because that's $50,000. What else? I have my Torrid credit card, which right now is kind of high. It's not like all the way. I haven't spent all the money on my Torrid credit card, but I've spent about half of it. And that one is probably the most reasonable one that I have right now, because I want to say it's at like $500 or $600. So that's not too unreasonable to pay off by the end of this year, as long as I'm not continuing to buy expensive stuff. The only other one that I really have, I have 2. One is, I think, around $1,000. One I think is around $1,500. And one of them is a Barnes & Noble credit card. I like books. And then the other is Bill Me Later, which I am the worst about using for like cosplay or limited edition stuff. So, and my goal is, with the Bill Me Later, is once I get that paid off, is to never ever use it again, because I never should have gotten it in the first place, because it's just spending money that you don't have, and then you're left trying to pay it off later, and it racks up interest, which is what I'm running into. So yeah, 2 bills. I'm really gonna try. Even if I have to get like 3 or 4 jobs over the course of the year, I'm going to do it. I'm determined. I can do it. I can do it. Another goal that I have relates directly to this, and that is to get back into vlogging. Obviously, you all know I was vlogging a lot back in the day, back before I moved down here to Florida. So And then even when I did move back down here, I, for a little bit, was back into it. And then I stopped for like 2 years. And I didn't really realize how much I missed it until I started doing it again. And I was like, wow. Vlogging is just... it's nice to talk. It's nice to pretend you have people that are listening to you. I don't know that I'm ever gonna make it big on YouTube like Sage and the Marbles or I don't know, Shane Dawson. I don't even watch Shane Dawson. I just know he's big and problematic. I doubt that I'll ever make it to that level of fame when it comes to YouTube and vlogging, but that's not even my goal. I just like having fun. I like connecting with people, and that's something that I want to do for a really long time. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to be doing it when I'm like 70, and who knows where I'll be when I'm 70, but you know, I see myself doing this for a long time, and I enjoy having fun. I enjoy talking with everyone that watches the videos, and it's great. It's a nice outlet for emotions and for acting silly. Another thing that I really need to get back into is going to therapy. Pretty much my entire life, once I came back from the DCP, it revolved around going to therapy because of everything that happened, because of how I was feeling, because of my actions, and that was 2012 that I started, and I went through 2 therapists. The first one I never should have seen in the first place because, yes, he was a therapist, but he was also a deacon at our church. He had no business counseling me, especially when a lot of my counseling had to do with me coming to the terms that I was not straight, and with him being a deacon in a Catholic church, it was just all levels of inappropriate. So I saw him maybe like twice before my mom was like, maybe this isn't the best idea. And so then I went to another counselor and saw her from 2012 until I left for school in 2017. So I had a 5-year established relationship with that counselor. And I've tried on and off here when I was at UCF to try and speak with another counselor, and it never worked out. And that's why I'm kind of worried about getting back into therapy now, is reopening old wounds and stuff like that. So I'm nervous about that, but I know that it's important to go to therapy. I feel like everyone should go to therapy just because it's helpful, and it's a smart thing to do to be in therapy. This one is also kind of basic of me, but I want to post more pictures on like my Instagram account because for those of you that have been following me on Instagram, which is a handful of you, I was really good about posting Disney pictures, and I take Disney pictures like every time that I go to Disney, and they're just sitting on my computer, so I really need to be better about doing something with them, posting them somewhere on Instagram, on Flickr, because I don't know that it's something that I can or want to make a career out of, but I do enjoy taking pictures. And I have fun taking pictures and sharing them, so, it might be a side hustle I can do one day. Who knows? But we're not gonna know until I start posting pictures, places. So, gotta work on that. Something that I also really, really need to do this year is work on cutting out toxic friends. Luckily in my life I've only had to deal with that a handful of times, but I do currently have a friend who is not the best. They are privileged. They make a lot of bad choices. And they've hurt me and almost every single one of my other friends that I have in common with this person. So, and it's just getting to the point where honestly I need out. And like, sometimes things are okay with his friends, sometimes they're not. And I just, the not is outweighing when things are good. And I think it would just be better for my mental health and just for my happiness in general to hang out with better people and to have better friends. And that's something that I really need to work on, is like knowing my worth and giving myself to people that are going to respect me the same way that I respect them. One of my goals is also to just enjoy life more, and that's something that's always kind of been a little difficult for me because I've had depression as long as I can remember, and I've put a lot of my focus and effort into smaller things or like other things. Like a lot of my focus and effort has gone into school, obviously, and that's good, it should, but I also haven't really been able to do much of anything else because I put so much focus into that I don't really have the time to enjoy other things. I mean, I'm young, but I'm not going to be young forever, and I want to enjoy that time, and I want to go places and do things and live my life before I can't anymore. And that ties in with my final resolution, which is to travel more. And I will say that I have been doing that a little bit more. I say a little bit more. The past two falls around Christmas time-ish, I've gone to New York, but it's always only been for like 24 hours, and I see one musical and walk around a little bit, and that's it, which I mean is better than staying in one town or one city for an entire year. But you know, I do want to travel more. This past June I went to London to see Tom Hiddleston in a play, and that was amazing. I had so much fun, even if I did lose my passport and my credit card and my license because pickpocketers. But it was fun, and I liked doing it, and I want to travel the world. I want to see other places. I want to go to the Disney parks in other countries. I want to see mountains. I want to go places. Greece, Paris, Africa, see different things, Australia. I want to go places. I want to do things. And I really just want to get to the point where I can. I've toyed around with the idea of being like a flight attendant because I like to travel and I want to see new places, but I don't quite know yet if that's what I want to do with life. But I do know that I want to travel, and I want to see more, and I want to do more, and I want to experience more. So I'm hoping that this year, once I can get a job established and start saving money up, that I can actually do things. Like I really want to do a Disney cruise sometime next year, and kind of really want to do the one that goes to like Norway or maybe Alaska. One of those really nice ones, somewhere I've never been. That'd be really fun. But yeah, I just want to travel more and see more. Alright, that's pretty much the extent of my New Year's resolutions that I have written down. I hope that you really enjoyed this calm, hopefully soothing video. Like I said, I know a lot of people are hurting and confused and not sure how to feel right now, and I totally understand that. Just in case things are hitting people a little hard recently, I'm going to leave the number for the suicide helpline, the National Suicide Helpline, down below in the comments in case anyone needs it. And I'm also going to leave a URL for a website where you can text to talk to people instead of actually physically talking to people, because I know some people would prefer that. So yeah, that just about wraps up the video for today. If you have any questions, comments, ideas, concerns, if you want to tell me what your own New Year's resolutions were, leave them down below in those comments and I will reply to them as soon as I can. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful week. Bye.